Sexualizing your body makes you a better person.
Are you recording?
I'm gonna record you. Yes.
Do you want me to throw water on you? I am racist.
So idiot, for
And
real.
you are an
idiot. No,
I
I'm
am
not.
racist, and I'll say that to the whole entire world.
Talk about respect.
People are tired of it, frustrated. I'm talking about white people just being totally, I'm done. I'm saying what's on my mind. White people in this country have been pressured and guilted and lied about to an extreme that is best seen on a Cinnabon video. We'll get to that in a second. But think about how many times you've heard that as a white person, you are privileged, you have white privilege, and that you're a racist, and that you're a nationalist, and that you're a Nazi. You know, you can only take that language so many times until you sit and say, I'm gonna fight back. There's only so many times you could be punched in the face until you put up a defense, and that defense is a hard offense. Let me take you to the Cinnabon video in case you haven't seen it. Imagine a 30-something blonde-year-old female. She's working behind the counter at Cinnabon, probably making minimum wage, if not, a few trickles over it. Going in there, dealing with customers, probably half of them a pain in the ass. But she still goes, and she proudly goes. There's videos of this girl showing the different buns she's making, you know, in a very kind of smiley way and trying to promote where she is that she works. Well, these two Somalis come into Cinnabon, and allegedly, apparently, we don't know this is what is being told because we don't see it on video. Apparently, the Somalis gave this girl in Wisconsin a hard time that she didn't have a hijab on to serve the Somalis. So the Somalis probably got into some kind of verbal fight with this woman, still at the point of where it's pretty low, and they decide they're gonna film her. And she gets pissed. She says, "You're filming me?" And they said, "Yeah, we're filming you. You're a horrible person." And that's when she loses it. She gives him the middle fingers. She says, "You are," and she calls him the N-word. She says, "Get the hell out of my place. Screw you. Yeah, all right, I'm a racist. I'll tell the world I'm a racist." And she sort of loses it because she's had enough. She's been pushed. She's trying to just get through the day, make money, to try to go home and pay the bills, which are just so much money for everybody at this point. And then when you hear that the Somalians are stealing our money and sending it back to Somalia to support freaking terrorism, and then Somalians telling you how horrible it is that your country is, people are fed up. She's fed up. So what happens? Cinnabon fires her, and as a result of that, I will never eat at a Cinnabon ever again. It's garbage for you anyway. And so what happens is people, they say, you know what? We're supporting this woman. Right now, she has $100,000 raised for her online. Triple probably of what she makes in a year at Cinnabon. And what it is, it's an indication. It's not people putting money towards, hey, I like the fact that you said the N-word. What it is, it's people saying we're frustrated. We're tired of all the things I said in the beginning, of being called a racist and saying that you have privilege. Where's the privilege of working for minimum wage at a Cinnabon? Where's the privilege of that? Where's the privilege of being filmed and being taunted? There is none. It's very simple what we want as Americans. It's not a hard concept. We've been taking in too many people for way too long. It's been decades and decades and decades of mass immigration, both legal and illegal. We've had to turn a blind eye to this. We've had to pretend like we want to deal with people who don't speak English. We've had to pretend like we've got to deal with the fact that when you walk into the emergency room, you look at people who look like they're from the third world, and you got to wait in line on something that you should be at the front of the line for. We're tired of going into our classrooms with our kid in the beginning of the school year and be like, where did all these people come from? And why do you need 4 extra teachers to be teaching these kids? Oh, because they need ESL? We're tired of the cost. We're tired of it all. We're tired of our jobs being taken. We're tired of hearing that you can't get a job because you don't speak Spanish. That's it. This is our country. If you don't like it, get out. If you don't want to mesh with us and speak the language and enjoy the culture and embrace God, get out. We're tired of it. And if the politicians in DC don't get it, well, guess what's going to happen? You're just going to get voted out. Even the ones who are most beloved, people are catching on. They're catching on, and they're getting really pissed off when we see some of our top people over there kissing ass at the Qataris or kissing ass to the Somalis. We don't need these people. They need us. When are everybody going to wake up? We're number one. We don't need to punch down. They need to beg up. Hope you share this video, and if I'm new to you, give me a like. You won't be disappointed. And as far as the woman at Cinnabon, good for you for standing up for yourself.
Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and that was Dennis Michael Lynch. I'll be sure to tag him on my YouTube channel. I'll probably even make a trailer of this because he's a certain fucking type of stupid, right? None of the shit he said really contextually made sense, and then he conflated immigration with a bitch being racist. First of all, they were Somalian. Even if they did say something, and that's alleged, because like he even said his own admission, we didn't hear what the fuck was said before the video started rolling. So the best thing is not to fucking assume. What we do know is that even if they did say something, and I highly doubt it was racist because they're Somalian, or Somali, let me correct that. It wasn't as to the degree of what the fuck she did. I don't think if somebody says something you don't like, the proper response is to respond with a racist slur. That's fucking stupid. He's a certain level of idiot, right? He suffers from a severe case of DWS. If you don't know what that is, I'll put the link down. You can buy a shirt. It'll let you know what it is. He is not really intelligent. He didn't assess this for what it was worth. How you make that leap from being pushed because of white guilt to mass immigration and people being here and you feeling like you entitled to some shit, right? He even conflated white privilege, talking about what is white privilege? How do you have to work a minimum wage job? Sir, she chose that job at the mall. At my age and even younger, I never wanted to work at the fucking mall. I don't think I've ever worked at the mall, if memory serves me correct. So anyone that does that is a loser by choice. Not to mention, he said that she was in her 30s. No, sir. Clearly, she looks like she's 40 or 41. I'm just going to correct that shit. But let's say, given the benefit of the doubt, she is in her 30s. Even in my 30s, I wasn't making no fucking... What'd he say? She got $100,000. So that's 3 times the amount that she makes. So we're going to ballpark it. She makes $33,000 a year. What the fuck does a 30-year-old, let alone a middle-aged person, got to be doing to be working $33,000 a year? I make more than that as a fucking line cook. So stall me with that shit. Sir, white privilege is being able to get away with shit criminally, get pulled over by the police and not get haggled, maybe even go to a bank and use her whiteness and her income, even though it's severely under the limit that a person should have to get a loan, and probably shot credit, which still won't have a bearing effect on her getting said loan. Meanwhile, nigga with a higher credit score and a better income gets denied. That's actually happened within the last 5 years, but I digress. He also goes on to say that if you can't speak the language, right, and then starts to talk about Mexicans. What the fuck did her calling a Somali couple the N-word have to do with fucking Mexicans? He made this mental gymnastics that, while I was paying attention, was like flabbergasting because it had nothing to do with the topic at hand. Not only that, he says that it's only so much white people can get pushed to the limit. What, to start being racist? That's what we complain about, that you don't think you should have white guilt for being racist, but I digress. That's the whole reason that motherfuckers are complaining about white guilt. It's for shit that happened that was racist in the past. Well, you know what you want to do to cure that? Not do some racist shit in the present. That would help. That's just me. I don't know. This is just these low IQ genes that us brown people have, but I digress. So he's severely sending the wrong messaging all over the place, right? I don't know if this, like I said in the previous video, I don't know if this has to do with white men after the age of 40. They don't be using all the components and the mental faculties. And shit just be all over the place like bird shit. Then he goes on to say, Cinnabon, I am never eating there again. Sir, you're 52. and that's being generous. You might be older, right? You shouldn't be eating that Cinnabon because it'll fucking raise your fucking estrogen levels. It'll actually reduce your testosterone levels, and it'll give you a premature heart attack or stroke. Just from a health standpoint, at your age, you might not want to eat Cinnabon. Should have nothing to do with her being racist and defending herself, or seeing Cinnabon defending people's dignity by firing racist scumbags from their establishment. See how connected the dots? You might want to focus on that. I hate these old, middle-aged, or even older people always making these stupid 1 to 2 comparisons, or they go off onto this diatribe of why it's doing the most despicable shit was the best outcome. There were plenty of outcomes that she could have chose. You know what? Not engage in the bullshit. Say sorry as a customer service-oriented employee. Try to de-escalate the bullshit, serve them their pastries, and let them go about their business. No. Option C for $800, Alex, was to say racist shit, then to take your begging ass up on GoFundMe or whatever the fuck platform it was and tell people I need to be sustained because you got fired through no other fault but your own, and then you want to ask for money. Yeah, that doesn't do nothing but condone and support racism, sir. It perpetuates it. It sends the message in that even though people quote unquote push me to the level, I can say racist shit, lose my job, and then beg for money so I can get put on my feet. You know what? As an adult, a mature, responsible one, a one with accountability, how about not do something that puts you in harm's way or push you within the crosshairs of losing your damn job? Then you won't actually have to be at the mercy of people giving you money, because truth be told, all those people contributing to her losing her job support and condone her racism. And that is why y'all stupid asses should have white guilt. But I'm just the messenger. In any event, if y'all like my episode, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you're a racist and you agree with the woman saying racist shit and this jackass condoning it, don't even bother leaving a comment. I'm gonna block your ass. I'm gonna delete your post and block you, or block you and it'll delete your post. Either way, you'll be the fuck out of here. You start using some common sense and high IQ, and then even I'm out.
No one's right.